Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside the athletic fields here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we get you ready for our first football coverage of this fall sports season. The Scarlet Hawks finally back at home, and they are set to welcome in a Week 3 rival in the Natick Redhawks, continuing to play non-conference opponents here out of the gate of the season. Milford comes into action tonight with a record of 2-0. They have been very good to start this season. Natick, meanwhile, comes in with an overall record of 1-1, though they are coming in off of a victory in their Week 2 matchup. This has been a fun rivalry in recent seasons here on the football field. It's been an excellent rivalry overall for these two schools across the athletic landscape. We've talked about it in the recent matchups that we've covered between Milford and Natick, but it's been fun every time these schools have gotten together, whether it's here on the football field, whether it's out in the volleyball court for boys volleyball in particular. It has been entertaining rivalries every time these teams have gotten together. We've seen some intriguing matchups in the last couple of seasons between these two football programs as well. This is the fourth time these two teams will play each other in the last 3 years, so plenty of recent history built up between these two programs. Milford has had the better of the success in these recent matchups. We'll dig into that a little bit more as the coverage goes on as well. But we're getting set to get this game underway. Right now the captains are out there taking care of the coin toss, and we'll get the results of that coin toss in just a moment. From the look of the reaction from the official, it appears that Natick might have indeed won the toss. So Natick deferring to the second half. So a last bit of business to attend to here. We'll get the official call here now from the referee. And so again, Natick defers to the second half, so the Milford offense will come out first here, and everyone now is set and ready to go. A lot of enthusiasm here on this brand new Milford High School turf. The first time we have a chance to see this football team play on this beautiful new surface, and the start of this game is just moments away as the pregame celebrations come to an end out on the field. We'll get the national anthem played here momentarily by the Milford High School Marching Band, and then it will be time to get this Week 3 matchup underway. It is the Milford Scarlet Hawks taking on the Natick Redhawks, with kickoff coming up next here on Milford TV. And we welcome you right back inside the brand new turf field here at Milford High School. It is time to get this Week 3 matchup underway. Milford with 2 successful tests to start off this season. In Week 1 on the road against Bridgewater Raynham, the Scarlet Hawks earned a 40-7 victory. They then followed that up with a shutout victory over Wellesley last week in Week 2. That was a 24-0 final score. And so despite a lot of changes on this roster, Milford has been playing very well on both sides of the ball to start out this season. And we will have a chance to see this new look Scarlet Hawks offense right out of the gates as Natick lines up to kick the ball away. Milford will be receiving and looking to move from right to left across your screens as this first quarter gets underway. Happy to have everyone on board for live coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV. We're live tonight on our educational channel on Verizon HD 2140 and across all of our online platforms at milfordtv.net and streaming live on YouTube. So happy to have all of our viewers here with us tonight. So the ball now in the air as this first quarter gets underway. It's hauled in just inside the 5-yard line. And now traveling across towards the near side of the field is number 14, CJ Farrell. With electric speed, now a sophomore on this varsity roster. CJ turned heads all of last school year with his athleticism here on the football field, on the basketball court as well. A multi-sport athlete, and provided some great contributions to this offense a season ago, looking to do the same thing this year. He's already found the end zone this season. And we're now ready to go. 1st and 10 for the Scarlet Hawks. The new QB, Jack Buckley, hands off on first down. And running into traffic, it is Nick Arujo getting the first carry. Nick has shoulder the load in the running game through the first couple of weeks of the season. Nick with 12 carries for 214 yards and a pair of rushing touchdowns through the first 2 weeks of the season. Now the ball in the hands of number 81. That is Daniel Carvalho. And that's going to bring the Scarlet Hawks their first down of the game. And Milford wasting no time. They keep it on the ground here on 1st and 10, and nowhere to gain that time for Araujo. Araujo, the epitome of versatility on this football roster. He is the workhorse in the running game, a ball-hawking linebacker on defense, and is arguably the top kicker and punter in all of the Hockomock League as well, so impacts all phases of the game. This time the handoff goes to number 34. That is Andrew Rivera.
Number 34, Andrew Rivera on the carry.
And so we're used to seeing Andrew Rivera's contributions on the basketball court. He has been a real rising star for the Hawks basketball team as an underclassman, now a junior this year, and he's expected to factor in heavily to the offense in both the running game and the passing game. Milford right now in a 3rd and long situation here, 3rd down and 11. The ball spotted on the Scarlet Hawks 41-yard line. Buckley out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff, in some trouble, and that ball is knocked away. Good penetration into the backfield from number 7, Ronnie Saddam. Able to swipe that ball down to the turf and put Milford in a punting situation here. So just a single first down on this first drive of the game. Natick confident that they could get a stop here on this opening drive, electing to defer after winning the kickoff. And so Araujo now ready to send this punt away. A sky-high kick. Fair catch already called for number 13, James Perrier. And instead the ball takes a hop out of play. And it looks like they'll spot it out of bounds right around the 26-yard line of Natick.
At the 26-yard line. 1st and 10, Natick on their own 26.
So 1st and 10 now for the Red Hawks. 9 minutes and 54 seconds still to go in this first quarter. And under center for the Red Hawks looks to be number 12, Jesse Gagliardi. In the shotgun on 1st down. And the handoff, and some hard contact there initiated by the captain, Owen Matthews, for Milford. A gain of about a yard. This Natick offense has not really been able to get much going so far on the season. Low scores in each of their first 2 games. They did eke out a win last week against Walpole, 14-7. They then lost on week 1 against Needham by a final of 14-6. Gagliardi again out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 9, drops back to throw, looking deep over the middle, has a receiver open, and the catch is made on the Milford side of the field by Natick captain number 5, Arnold Kawir. And a big gain.
Caught by number 5, Arnold Kawir. Play good for a Natick 1st down.
Natick looking for the deep ball early, and a good clean completion, and Kawir able to get a step on the defense and was able to go up for that throw. Well executed by the QB and the receiver to set up a 1st and 10 from the Milford 36. Gagliardi continues to operate out of the shotgun. Pitches back here on first down, and Milford able to get into the backfield. A gang tackle. Milford saying that they have the ball. All the Milford players signaling they have possession. Let's wait for the officials, but Milford is in full celebration. And there is the ruling from the referee, and so the turnover generated by the Scarlet Hawks defense. You can see immediately a host of tacklers got on Owen Denver in the backfield and eventually jarred that ball loose. So on the very next play, after it looked like Natick was in business operating in Milford territory, this defense gets the takeaway. So 1st and 10, Milford now from their own 40.
Number 28, Nate Scudo.
That was Nate Scudo, as Milford has been run heavy here through these first 2 series. Able to gain about 3 yards on that carry. 2nd down and 7. Clock right now at 7 minutes and 52 seconds to go in the first. A man in motion, but the give is up the middle to Scudo, who has the first down and gets thrown down just shy of the Natick 40-yard line. So now it is Milford who enters into enemy territory, as they will have 1st and 10.
15-yard gain on the play.
Looks to be from the Natick 42. Again, the man in motion, but the give is up the middle. This time for Arujo, who's able to burrow his way down close to the Natick 35-yard line. It looks like they'll mark him right in between the 36 and the 35. Nose of the football touching that 35-yard line to set up 2nd down, as the clock now in this first quarter will dip under 7 minutes. 2nd down and short. They go right back to Arujo. This time he is stacked up. Going to be a loss of about a yard.
Loss of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 4, Milford. Ball is on the Natick 36-yard line.
Jack Buckley has thrown 4 touchdowns through the first 2 weeks of the season. And a good battle during training camp between Jack Buckley and Owen Callahan, and ultimately Buckley won the job. As he now rolls out to his right, throws on the move. It's completed to number 34, Andrew Rivera, who will continue to move his way up the far sideline, all the way inside the 20, close to the 15.
19-yard gain on the play.
Gain of 19 for Rivera.
17-yard line.
The ball spotted now on the Natick 17. So Milford looking to convert the turnover into points. It's Arujo who gets the call again on 1st down.
Nick Arujo, the ball carrier.
Had a chance to talk to all of these captains right before the start of training camp back in August, and these captains very confident that despite the changes with the players graduating from last year's team, that they would still maintain the same level that they've established in recent seasons. This team has made it all the way to the state semifinal game the last 2 years running, hoping to make it 3 for 3 this year, and hopefully going that next step further, as Milford, the pass is incomplete with Buckley targeting C.J. Farrell. And that will quickly set up 3rd down and 5. Buckley out of the shotgun. Delayed handoff into the hands of Nate Scudo, trying to find some space, but he gets brought down.
Nate Scudo on the carry.
Look to be another of the Natick captains, Teddy Ferrucci, on the tackle. And so looks like we'll see a field goal attempt here for the Scarlet Hawks. Right now the ball spotted on the 12-yard line.
4th and 8, Milford on the Natick 15-yard line.
A 29-yard field goal attempt upcoming for Araujo. And as we mentioned, Nick Araujo, one of the most reliable kickers in the Hockomock League. He's been that for his entire varsity career. He has already made 3 successful field goals so far this season. He has hit from 26 yards, 41 yards, and 45 yards through the first 2 weeks of the season. A timeout taken here on the field prior to the Araujo attempt, as Milford looks to score first. 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this first quarter as both teams retake the field.
Number 18, Nick Araujo, in to attempt a 31-yard field goal.
Owen Callahan, the holder. Good snap, a good hold, and the kick is no good.
His kick is no good.
Looked to be on target, but perhaps wide to the right. Tough to tell from our perspective, so a little bit of the broadcaster's jinx there on Nick Araujo, who misses his first field goal attempt of the season, and so we will stay scoreless here as Natick now will take over from their own 17-yard line. Araujo did have to rush the kick just a hair, as Natick did put some good pressure on up the middle, and so perhaps it was that messed up the timing just enough for Araujo to send that field goal attempt wide. And so right back out onto the field comes the Natick offense now, with the ball spotted on their own 17.
Teddy Ferrucci on the carry.
Running play to Teddy Ferrucci, who made the tackle on defense moments ago that put Milford into 4th down and an ultimate failed field goal try.
2nd and 5, Natick on their own 25-yard line.
2nd down and 5 for the Red Hawks. Gagliardi from the shotgun. He will run it himself, able to scramble his way up to the 30-yard line, enough for the first down.
First down. 5-yard gain of the play. 1st and 10, Red Hawks on their own 30.
Can't help but think back to the game these two teams played back during the 2021 regular season here on the Milford turf, where Milford had a pretty comfortable 4th quarter lead, only to see Natick put together a dramatic comeback, scoring a touchdown with 1 second left in the 4th quarter to pull themselves within 1. The Red Hawks ultimately decided to go for a 2-point conversion rather than kick the field goal. And Milford was able to break up that 2-point try to sneak out with a 1-point margin of victory. Very exciting game. Teams then met up in the playoffs in 2021 with Milford earning a victory. And Milford traveled to Natick in week 3 of last season, earned a victory up there as well. So 3 straight wins in this head-to-head matchup for Milford. Meanwhile, here as we tick down under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter, it's 2nd down and 8 for the Red Hawks. Ball spotted on the Natick 32. And it's Gagliardi rolling out to his right, has a receiver wide open, hits him in the hands and falls incomplete. That was Jack Zerlin, number 9 for Natick. Wide open, that ball was put right on target, just could not make the catch. And it's now 3rd down and 8. we had a chance to catch the tail end of the varsity boys soccer matchup between Milford and Canton as we were setting up coverage this afternoon. The boys pulled out a 3-1 victory. It was tied inside of the final 6 minutes, and Milford put in 2 late goals to earn the victory. So good job for the boys soccer team. The football team looking to follow suit. Meanwhile, 3rd down and 8 as Natick airs it out down the far sideline. Nobody home, but a flag is thrown in the backfield.
Pass falls incomplete down the sideline. There is a flag on the play.
And a flag going against Milford. They're going to say that was a late hit on the quarterback. All right, so we're trained down the field, but Milford putting a hit on Jesse Gagliardi, and a sloppy play here for the Scarlet Hawks allows Natick to extend this drive.
The flag is for a personal foul, roughing the passer on Milford. It's a 15-yard penalty, and the yards
so after the 15 yards are assessed on the penalty, it will set up 1st and 10 for Natick, just shy of midfield. The ball now spotted on the Natick 47. Bit of a high snap. Gagliardi pulls it down, able to get through one layer of the defense, but then is met at midfield and pushed back. And now another flag coming in after the play as Milford has a player held back. That was Aiden Watson, who looked to be very upset after the play. And so right now Natick looks to be backing up, so perhaps some sort of taunting call on Natick. We'll wait as this is discussed amongst the officiating crew. Surprising to see such a long conversation. Players clearly mixing it up at the end of the play. The conversation now continuing amongst the officiating crew. Now we should get the call. So personal foul going against Natick, so this will negate the roughing the passer penalty yardage and puts
personal foul by Natick.
The Red Hawks now back to their own 35-yard line. And so an exchange of undisciplined plays for these two teams. And now it will be right now still trying to get things figured out down on the sidelines. Right now they have 1st down on the chains. And now they do adjust it.
2nd down and 17, Natick, on their own 35-yard line.
So 2nd down and 17 from the Natick 35-yard line. Nice job by the eagle-eyed Steve Watson up here in the press box to get that all assessed properly. So 2nd down and 17, here we go. Gagliardi running out of time. He's able to get past one tackler and now finally gets brought down as Milford comes in big-time numbers. And finally, it is Oliver McKee who's able to make the tackle.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 17, Natick, on their own 35-yard line.
And so Gagliardi was able to get to the line of scrimmage to avoid the sack, but certainly took the brunt of a very hard hit from McKee. 90 seconds to go in the 1st quarter, 3rd down and 17. Again from the shotgun, Gagliardi drops back. Deep ball down the near sideline, and that ball ends up out of bounds. Good coverage in the secondary by C.J. Farrell, as the intended receiver, Ishmael Kamara, had nowhere to, I beg your pardon, number 5 on Natick, Arnold Kawir, had nowhere to go.
That brings up 4th down and 17. Natick on their own 35
So 4th down and 17, and a punting situation here for the Red Hawks. C.J. Farrell and Jason Stokes lined up to receive the kick for Milford. The punt away, Milford nearly getting the block. Might have gotten a piece of that ball as it barely made it to midfield. It looks like ruled out right at the 50.
He's rolled out on the 50-yard line. 1st and 10, Milford on the 50. Fans, make sure to grab your 50-50 raffle tickets. You can get those from our volunteers in the Orange Vest who are walking through the stands right now. And also be sure to visit the Milford Gridiron.
So 1 minute and 2 seconds to go in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Hawks, exactly at midfield. Watson is out onto the field a hair late, set up to the far side. Instead, the give goes once again to Nick Arujo, who scoots up the middle towards the 46-yard line before he is brought down after a gain of 4.
5-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 5, Milford.
Some crisp conditions here at the field now that the sun has gone down. It was around 70 degrees during the day today, comfortable day, but starting to feel that crispness of autumn in the air with the sun now fully set.
Their first of the first half.
Milford now calling a timeout. The clock stopped at 31 seconds to go, with it being 2nd down and 5 for the Scarlet Hawks from the Natick 45. Still scoreless in this game. Milford with a field goal miss earlier in this quarter. A quick schedule update that we want to let everyone know about. We were trying to put the wheels in motion. We were hopeful to perhaps travel with this football team next week to Attleboro for their Week 4 matchup. Unfortunately, the logistics just did not work out in our favor down at Attleboro High School, with a lot of other personnel committed to coverage of the game. So we will unfortunately not be able to make that trip out. We'll have girls volleyball coverage here at home for you next Thursday, but we will, if all goes according to plan, pick up Milford's home matchup against Lowell coming up on September the 12th. That game was not originally on the schedule, but eventually snuck on there. So another opportunity for us to cover this team at home. We're excited about that. Coming up on October 12th, that'll be Milford's next home game. So they'll be on the road at Attleboro in Week 4 and at North Attleboro in Week 5. Meanwhile, the final seconds of the first quarter tick down after another running play for the Scarlet Hawks. They'll have 3rd down and 4 when the second quarter begins, but these two teams playing to a scoreless first quarter of play. When we look back at how things went down in the matchup between these two teams last season, again played up at Natick High School, we also saw a scoreless first quarter in that game, but Milford got the offense going in earnest in the second quarter, with Evan Cornelius throwing a couple of touchdown passes, one to Cam Phillips, one to Isaiah Pantalone. Milford taking a 14-0 lead at the half, scoring 3 more touchdowns in the third quarter, and tacking on a 74-yard rush for Romeo Holland in the fourth quarter. It all totaled up to 42 points scored on the night for the Scarlet Hawks, as they earned a 42-27 win against Natick last season. Different quarterbacks for both of these teams last season, so getting acclimated to a different looking offense on both sides. It's set to begin the second quarter now. Again, welcome into all of our live viewers here tuning in on this Friday night, locally on our channels or streaming anywhere on our online platforms. Nifty catch made there, one-handed by C.J. Farrell. He pulled that ball in through traffic as Natick was able to get into the backfield, rushing the throw. Buckley couldn't get a lot on it, but Farrell made it happen. But shy of the first down, it is 4th down and 3. And Milford has the punting unit out as Milford plays a little field position battle here early on in the second quarter. Natick lined up at their own 15-yard line to receive the punt. Another high spinning kick for Rougeau. It takes a little bit of a Milford bounce. The Hawks will let it roll, and it comes to a stop right around the Natick 19-yard line. And so indeed, starting field position at their own 19-yard line. So they've had some long fields so far in their first 3 drives of the game. They started their last drive from their own 17. 11:03 to go in the half. Gagliardi puts a man in motion on first down. Hands off straight up the middle. It's Teddy Ferrucci again with the carry, able to get ahead for a couple.
Three-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 7, Natick on their own 22-yard line.
Second down and 7. Hard count. And another handoff, and Milford ready and waiting.
Teddy Ferrucci on the carry. One-yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 6, Natick on their own 23.
Third down and 6 now with the clock down toward 9.5 minutes to go. Gagliardi able to avoid being set down for a sack and gets the throw away complete to Ben Chandler.
Drop by number 13, James Perrier. Play good for Natick, first down.
So first down, nice job there by Gagliardi stepping through the pressure.
First and 10, Redhawks on their own 33.
This time Milford ready for a quick stop.
Sam Hubbard on the carry. Loss of 2 on the play.
Ends up going as a loss of 2.
On their own 31.
Second down and 12 from the 31-yard line. Delayed handoff, and Milford not fooled and setting Natick up for a big loss.
Teddy Ferrucci on the carry. Number 75, Tony Dew, in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks. No gain on the play. Third down and 12.
Apologies to our YouTube viewers for a slight interruption in the stream. Back up and running now. Still a scoreless matchup here between Milford and Natick with just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Gagliardi with a running back to his right, steps back, pressure comes. Araujo was in the QB's face and rushed a throw that was off target, aimed at James Perrier.
Pass was intended for number 13, James Perrier.
And so that brings up fourth down and 12. And so Natick again unable to get out of their own territory. So far really that one big play on offense for Natick that was quickly erased by a personal foul call. Fair catch called for by the Scarlet Hawks as they reel in that punt right around the 41-yard line.
Napier with the punt. Fair caught by C.J. Farrell.
And so the defense is really taking center stage in this matchup.
First and 10, Milford on their own 41.
Impressive play on both sides. Who will be able to break through first? Milford offense now returns to the field. Seven minutes and 40 seconds on the clock as Araujo slams into the pile, but a run good for only a couple of yards. Araujo's biggest rushing play on the season is an 82-yard touchdown run, which he collected last week in the victory against Wellesley. One of his 2 rushing touchdowns. This ball just does make it into the hands of Andrew Rivera, but he is met immediately, and that will go as a loss for the Scarlet Hawks. So it is now the Natick defense getting good penetration. Clock continuing to roll here, a fast-moving first half. Third down and 11 now for the Hawks. Jack Buckley now from the shotgun, drops back, had some time, targeting Alex Guerra over by the far sideline right at the first down marker, but the ball lands incomplete. And a 3 and out here for the Scarlet Hawks.
Fourth down and 11 for Milford from their own 40. Number 18, Nick Araujo in punt formation. James Perrier is deep to receive for Natick.
This is a defensive battle that I'm sure Coach Dana Olson on the sidelines loves to see. Coach Dana doing such incredible work with this defense and just gets incredible accolades from his players. When we talked to the captains prior to the start of the season,
Fair catch is called for by James Perrier.
Keith Lee effusive in his praise of Dana Olson and how he is able to scheme up every individual opponent and put this team in a great position to know what to expect on game day. We'll get to see a whole lot more of Dana Olson with the Scarlet Hawks this year, not only as the co-head coach of this football team, but will also be the head coach of the Scarlet Hawks varsity boys basketball team in the winter sports season. His first year in that position. Meanwhile, Gagliardi looking to throw on first down.
Pass by Jesse Gagliardi falls incomplete.
That's incomplete as that ball goes off into the Natick sidelines. Decent amount of traveling fans over on the other side of the field supporting this Red Hawks team. The stands at near capacity here on the home side, as these fans have been ravenous to see some home football. Having to travel for the first 2 weeks. It's a road-heavy schedule for Milford this season. Another timeout taken. I believe this timeout taken by the Red Hawks. But it was really an embarrassment of riches for the Scarlet Hawks in terms of home games a season ago. I believe we had a chance to see this team at home 6 times last year. And so obviously that pendulum swinging in the other direction this season. On the road on the first 2 weeks of the season at Bridgewater Raynham and at Wellesley. And then after this brief stint at home for week 3, they'll be on the road at Attleboro, at North Attleboro, before returning home. We hope for a matchup against Lowell on October 12th. There's a little bit up in the air right now with maintenance that has to happen here at the turf field, but hopeful that game will be played as scheduled. And then on the road one more time against the King Philip Warriors before coming back home to face the Franklin Panthers. A free release here coming out of the timeout, and the ball lands incomplete, and Milford lucky there that Gagliardi could not connect with Coer, as he was well out in front of the defense. That glanced off of his fingertips. Third down and 10 now for Natick with 6:05 to go in the half. Line of scrimmage remains the Natick 31-yard line. Gagliardi rolling out to his right. The ball overthrown and almost intercepted.
Pass ball is incomplete. Pass was intended for number 87, Simon Petrelli.
The tight end Simon Pedrelli had that ball go through his hands and almost went into the hands of a Milford defender, but lands incomplete. Regardless, 4th down and 10 here.
Number 14, Nathan Napier in punt formation.
And so we've seen some near misses here in this Natick passing attack. A couple of balls that were very much catchable that have gone through receivers' hands, really including that play over the middle to Coer. More on that in a moment, as CJ Farrell has all kinds of running room up the near sideline. Now twists back towards the middle, and he is in. Touchdown, Scarlet Hawks.
Number 14, CJ Farrell with a 65-yard punt return touchdown.
A punt return for a touchdown from 65 yards out. Looking effortless by CJ Farrell. Did not even seem like he was at top speed, but got himself down the near sideline with room out in front. Some good blocking at the end of that play for the Scarlet Hawks. And ultimately, Farrell in for the score. And Milford finally breaks the deadlock, taking a 6-0 lead. A flag right now down on the field. The celebration continues on the Milford sideline.
Milford ball, 1st and 10.
And so a quick end to the celebration as the flag goes against Milford.
First and 10, Milford on the Natick 37-yard line.
And so the touchdown wiped off the board. Instead, it will be 1st and 10 for Milford from the Natick 37. And now instead, Coach Olson calls timeout. He wants to talk things over here after the touchdown gets wiped away. So it is still scoreless here. We'll take a quick pause here on the broadcast. We'll have more in just a moment here on Milford TV. So conferring with my colleagues up here in the press box, it was an illegal block in the back that negated that touchdown run on the punt return for C.J. Farrell. Coach Olson calling the timeout to get the team back focused in 1st and 10 from the Natick 37. So still excellent starting field position. And the pass into the flat is complete to Jason Stokes.
Pass by Jack Buckley is complete to Jason Stokes.
Gain of about 5 or 6, it appears, on the play.
2nd and 5, Milford, on the Natick 32
2nd down and 5. Ticking down to 5 minutes to go as Araujo finds some running room up the middle and gets taken down hard at the end of that play. He's helped back to his feet, but that was a hard hit for Araujo. Looks to be fine as he jogs to the sideline. Hit up high. A gain of 12.
20-yard line.
Line of scrimmage right at the Natick 20. And a passing play here as Buckley has to step through pressure and is eventually brought down. He was at least able to twist around and get himself back to the line of scrimmage to avoid the sack.
Jack Kelly and Keegan Wasserbar in on the pressure for Natick. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Clock still rolling now, down to 4 minutes to play. It will be Natick football to start off the second half. This time Buckley drops back, steps through the pressure, looking to the end zone, and the catch is made, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, says the official. The throw right on target to Jason Stokes, but out of bounds. And how many close calls will we see here for Milford in this first half? A near miss on a field goal attempt in the first quarter, and now 2 would-be touchdown plays that at first glance look to have Milford on the scoreboard, but it is still all zeros in the score column. Now 3rd down and 10. Buckley rolls out, has a target. It's complete to Aiden Watson.
Pass by Buckley is complete to number 7, Aiden Watson.
Not enough for the first down. It's going to be 4th down and 5. And so once again, we'll see a field goal attempt here, it appears, for Nick Araujo.
Number 18, Nick Araujo, into attempt a 32-yard field goal.
It's a 32-yard field goal attempt from this spot on the field. He missed from 29 yards in the first quarter. Not much of a breeze. The kick is not going to be good. Again, Natick able to get into the backfield and clearly got a piece of that kick on the way up. So 2 field goal misses in this first half for the Scarlet Hawks. And what do the Scarlet Hawks have to do to get on the scoreboard in this game? They have had chances throughout this half, but it is still Milford 0 and Natick 0.
First and 10, Natick on their own 20.
So Natick's offense onto the field, 1st and 10 from their own 15. So again, Natick pinned back deep. Have a receiver wide open at midfield. The catch made there by James Perrier, and he is finally wrestled to the ground all the way down to the Milford 30.
To James Perrier. Play good for Natick, first down.
55 yards on that catch, and that's the second time we've seen a receiver get well ahead of this Milford secondary. Last time, fortunate that the throw from Gagliardi was off target, but this time it was an easy pitch and catch. And after the field goal miss, now it is Natick looking to get on the scoreboard first.
On the carry.
Short gain on the carry from Ferrucci, so the big plays have been there for Natick.
On the Milford 29-yard line.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Gagliardi drops back, good protection, throws over the middle, and the throw is incomplete.
Gagliardi's pass falls incomplete.
A lot of Milford traffic there in the area.
Down and 9, Natick on the Milford 29-yard line.
So that sets up 3rd down and 9. You wonder if this would be possible 4-down territory here for Natick. Clock right now paused at 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Good energy from this Milford crowd looking to cheer on the defense. Milford brings the pressure, and quickly Gagliardi is brought down. You could see Arujo was ready to pounce. He was one of the first into the backfield. And Gagliardi is sacked. He is brought down all the way back at the 40, I beg your pardon, the 35-yard line. It's a loss of 6 to set up 4th and 15. And with the clock ticking down towards a minute to play, a different decision for the Natick coaching staff to make here. The head coach for the Natick Redhawks is Mark Mortarelli. Inside of a minute now as Natick takes their time to head back to the line of scrimmage. Right now they have the offense out there. Well, they try to draw Milford off sides here. Interesting to see if they actually snap the football. And instead, just trying to bleed this clock down. Take the play clock all the way down, take a timeout, stopping the clock with 36 seconds to go. So we'll see how Milford plays this as they come back out of the timeout. See if maybe CJ Farrell can spring himself loose for a second time. Looks to have a punt return for a touchdown earlier in this quarter, but wiped away by a Milford penalty. A few penalties at some inopportune moments in this half for the Scarlet Hawks. Natick still with their offense on the field, so gonna take a chance here with just over 30 seconds to go, gunning it towards the near side, and the throw out in front, and a late flag comes in. Did not appear to be much contact in that part of the field. Another long conference here amongst the officials. This has been a very deliberate crew here tonight. And so, indeed, the call appears to be pass interference against Milford. And so another very frustrating penalty taken here by Milford. The Milford fans restless after the call. This will set up Natick at the 20-yard line. That's right now where they have placed the football. So the reality of the situation here is the penalty yardage still puts Natick just shy of the first down. So it's going to be 4th and inches here. And Natick now, with 33 seconds to go, lines up for the field goal attempt. Milford making their voices heard. Nathan Napier on the kick, and it is no good.
Field goal attempt by Nathan Napier from 37 yards out is
So it's our 3rd field goal miss of the half. Such a strange first half. Quickly coming to a close here. 29 seconds to go as the Milford offense comes back out. Likely to just take a knee here to bleed out the rest of this first half clock. And Milford not in a kneel down formation, so it looks like they'll take a chance here. They'll keep it on the ground, and not much room there for Arujo up the middle. We'll see if we get one more snap in with the clock winding down to 15 seconds. No sense of urgency. And right now you can see Coach Olson waving the team over towards the sideline. So that will be all here for the first half. And so no points on the scoreboard. A pair of field goal misses for Milford. A field goal miss on the Natick side as well. So the defenses on full display for both of these teams through the first half, and it all totals up to a scoreless game here at halftime. So if you're joining us on our live coverage locally on our channels or streaming on our website or on YouTube, we'll step aside for halftime. Right now, 10 minutes on the clock for halftime, so stay with us on the coverage. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter in just a few short minutes. It is scoreless here between Milford and Natick. Coverage continuing in just a few moments here on Milford TV. Welcome back into the Milford turf field as we get set for second half coverage in this varsity football matchup between the Scarlet Hawks and the visiting Natick Red Hawks. Milford kicking off to start the second half. Arujo gunning it right back to the goal line. It's taken out from there by number 13, James Perrier, and he is wrestled to the ground. A decent return for Natick. Looks to be right out to the 25-yard line. Just about the best field position that Natick has had to start any drive tonight. They have been hemmed in deep on their own side of the field, which has benefited Milford in a couple of situations where Natick's been able to rattle off a big play to get inside Milford territory, but in all of those instances, they weren't able to finish off the drive with points. If you're just joining us, these two teams combined for 3 field goal misses in the first half, 2 of them for Milford. As Natick is able to get a good second effort there on that rush, and they end up getting the first down. It was Gagliardi running it himself.
He's running good for Natick first down.
Milford generating a turnover on Natick's first drive of the first half. First and 10 now from the 38-yard line for the Red Hawks. This time, Gagliardi hands off. Natick stacked up right around the line of scrimmage.
1 yard gain on the play. Second and
And they will give Natick a yard on that play to set up 2nd down and 9. Gagliardi from the shotgun again will keep it himself. And this time not able to slip free. Looks like he was wrapped up by Tony Dew.
1 yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 8.
Another gain of 1, so it's 3rd down and 8 now for the Red Hawks. Natick finally breaks the huddle after a longer conversation. Again, 3rd down and 8. As Gagliardi drops back, had to rush the throw, but it is complete. And a gang of Milford tacklers there to bring the receiver down around the 45-yard line, shy of the 1st down.
Number 3, Ben Chandler. Number 44, Owen Matthews in on the stop. There is a 4th and 3, Natick.
Once again, the captain, Owen Matthews, in on that tackle. Setting up 4th down and 3, and Natick lines up to punt.
Jason Stokes and TJ Farrell are deep for Milford.
Stokes and Farrell back to receive the kick. It's Stokes who pulls it down, able to get free for a couple of yards. Taking that ball out to the 30, and that is where the Scarlet Hawks will begin their first drive of the 2nd half.
His partners to stop on the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Milford on their own 30.
Jack Buckley back out onto the field, his first home game as the Scarlet Hawks starting quarterback, taking over the job from Evan Cornelius, who entertained these fans to 2 outstanding seasons under center for this varsity team. Arujo continuing to try to push his way forward. Natick in there trying to rip the ball free, but sure-handed there for Arujo to push his way forward for a gain of 5. Milford hasn't been able to break out a big offensive play so far tonight. We thought they did for a few moments with what we thought was a 65-yard punt return for a touchdown for C.J. Farrell, but that was wiped away due to a penalty. Meanwhile here, Buckley will take the sack.
A loss of 2 on the play.
Ends up going as a loss of 2 yards.
From their own 33-yard line.
3rd quarter clock ticking down to 8 minutes to play as Milford gets the play call from the sideline. Nate Scudo in the backfield. I beg your pardon, that is Arujo. As this pass is completed on the far side of the field.
Pass by Jack Buckley is complete.
Hauled in by Andrew Rivera, just shy of midfield. So some good protection in the backfield. It was Nate Scudo, so I had it right the first time around, helping to keep a clean pocket for Buckley and delivering that throw on target to Rivera for the 1st down. Now a low snap hits the turf, and Buckley has to cover it up, and this will go as a significant loss here for the Scarlet Hawks.
Loss of 5 on the play. 2nd and 15, Milford. from their own 44.
So it will now be 2nd down and 15 after that miscue. Buckley again puts Farrell in motion, and the play whistled to a stop. And Milford called for the false start, so this drive going decidedly in the wrong direction here on these last 2 plays.
Penalty, replay, 2nd down. Second and 20. Milford from their own 39.
From 1st and 10 at near midfield to now 2nd down and 20. Backed up onto their own 39. And it will be Buckley to run himself. He spins off of 1 tackle, able to get free for a couple of more yards, but a short gain overall for the QB.
4-yard gain on the play. 3rd down.
A gain of 4 to set up 3rd down and 16. This offense just has not been able to get terribly comfortable tonight. Again, credit to the Natick defense. Buckley now drops back, now flushed from the pocket. Running out of time, and now gets dropped.
Jack Buckley on the keeper.
They force him out of bounds right at the Milford 45-yard line. And another Arujo punt coming up here on a drive that just lost all momentum.
Number 18, Nick Arujo in punt formation. Number 13, James Perrier is deep to receive for Natick.
Arujo out for the punt. Short kick, and it's going to take a decided Natick bounce. Milford quick to pounce on that as Declan Donovan, the junior, brings it to a stop, but good starting field position here for the Redhawks from their own 40. Milford in a first-place tie in the Kelly Rex Division standings of the Hockomock League. They are 2-0, as are the Franklin Panthers, the King Philip Warriors, and the Taunton Tigers. North Attleboro 1-1 on the season. Attleboro is 1-2 on the year. A particularly impressive start to the season for Taunton, who has demolished their Week 1 and Week 2 opponents, scoring 74 points, while their defense has yet to allow a single point.
7-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 3, Natick. From their own 48.
Milford has only allowed 7 points to their opponents so far on the season. King Philip has only allowed 6. So some impressive defensive play around the Kelly Rex Division, as Natick looks for some room along the far sideline, still going close to the 1st down marker.
Number 13, James Perrier on the carry.
James Perrier with a good second effort there.
He's run good for Redhawk, 1st down. 5-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Natick on the Milford 47.
So Natick now on to the Milford side of the field. 1st and 10 from the Milford 47. Quick handoff. And a good adjustment there at the end of that play for Milford to bring down Sam Hubbard. A decent 1st down carry, a gain of 6.
2nd and 4, Redhawks on the Milford 41.
Natick now down inside of 3:45 to go in this third quarter as Gagliardi carries it himself, able to get across the 35-yard line.
He's run good for Natick, first down.
And that's enough for a first down, so Natick dinking and dunking down the field here. A first down coming up
6-yard gain on the play.
at the Scarlet Hawks 35.
35-yard line.
Come pretty heavy ground and pound so far in the second half for both of these offenses. But this time, Gagliardi airs it out, and the pass is picked off, and some green grass ahead for Milford. Still on their feet, and they're going to take it to the house for the touchdown. Andrew Rivera.
Number 34, Andrew Rivera.
And no flags down anywhere on the field. Count it as a 67-yard pick six. Rivera read that all the way.
Number 18, Nick Arujo, into the point after attempt.
Stepped in front of the receiver to make the interception. And some great moves upfield to take it to the house for the pick six. And finally, points on the scoreboard as the point after attempt is good.
And that makes your score Milford 7, Natick 0.
So Milford's defense finally breaks the deadlock. An interception return for a touchdown for Andrew Rivera. And it is the Scarlet Hawks now with a 7-0 lead with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. That's the second takeaway of this game for the Milford defense. So again, the defense has allowed a couple of big plays. It looked like Natick was starting to build some momentum there on that particular drive, but in the first half, Milford able to bail themselves out with a fumble recovery, and this time it is Andrew Rivera with the interception and taking it all the way back for the score. And Milford now finally able to take a lead in this game as Arujo kicks the ball back to the Red Hawks with some space now up the far sideline, and an excellent return here for James Perrier.
Number 13, James Perrier on the return for Natick.
And so this has been a big change in the second half for Natick. Starting field position in the first half at the 17, at the 19, at the 15, but in the second half it has been much better starting field position, including here. It'll be starting field position from their own 37-yard line.
First and 10, Natick from their own 37-yard line.
.242 to go in the third quarter. On the ground on first down, it's Ferrucci who tumbles forward.
Ferrucci on the carry.
Brought down, it looks like, at the 42.
Five-yard gain on the play. Second and 5, Natick on their own 42.
Second down and 5 coming up now for the Red Hawks. Gagliardi will take it himself. And comes up against a wall of Milford defenders. Brought down, they'll mark him down right at the Natick 45.
3-yard gain on the play. Third down and 2, Natick on their own 45.
This Milford defense would love to consolidate the defensive score with a quick 3 and out to get their offense out on the field. This next snap will come inside of 90 seconds to go in the third quarter. Gagliardi from the shotgun. And he has nowhere to go. And Tony Dew again quickly getting into the backfield. It's like a loss of a yard on the play. They'll say officially no gain. 4th down and 2, and Natick lined up to punt. So again, an excellent response for the defense. They create the first score of the night, and
the punt by number 14, Nathan Napier, is fair caught by C.J. Farrell.
Now forcing the quick 3 and out. It was a good punt for the Red Hawks, setting up a long field here coming up for the Scarlet Hawks. Ball looks to be spotted on the 16.
If anyone has lost a black Android phone, please grab it at the Good Iron Club tent. And a black Android phone, grab it at the Good Iron Club tent. Thank you.
40 seconds remain in the third quarter as the ball goes into the hands of Nick Arujo, who is stuffed in the backfield. Look to be Matt Schultz on the tackle. 18 against 18. 2nd down and 11 coming up for Milford.
2nd and 11, Milford. From there on 17.
Looks like we might see Milford allow this clock to wind down. So this will take us into the 4th quarter. It took the Milford defense to finally put some points on the board in this game. A 67-yard pick 6 for Andrew Rivera has given Milford a 7-0 lead, and they will carry that 7-0 lead into the 4th quarter. It will be 2nd down and 11 for the Scarlet Hawks. We'll take a quick timeout here on the coverage. Back in just a moment here on Milford TV.
2nd and 11, Milford from their own 16-yard line.
We begin the 4th quarter here at the Milford High School turf field, where the Scarlet Hawks lead Natick 7-0. A 3rd down play here. I beg your pardon, a 2nd down play to start the 4th quarter. Nick Arujo getting the first carry here in the 4th. Setting up a 3rd down and long play.
3-yard gain on the play. 3rd down and 8, Milford from their own 19.
Our first chance to see this Milford football team in action this season after winning their first 2 weeks on the road. And in a close defensive battle here with one of their bigger non-conference rivals in Natick. Here's Buckley, again flushed out of the pocket and has to just get rid of this football, sends it out of bounds. As the Natick defense was in hot pursuit, and a punt coming up here for Milford. And so the level of competition certainly ratcheting up this week for Milford after they earned comfortable victories against Bridgewater Raynham and also Wellesley High School.
James Carrier is deep to receive for Natick.
Putting up 40 points and 24 points respectively, but this offense has been held off the scoreboard so far tonight. The only score came from the defense in that 3rd quarter. Punt for Arujo, high, booming kick. Outstanding punt here for Arujo. Milford will bring it to a stop just outside of the 30-yard line. We've seen a couple of shorter punts tonight from Nick, but that one was a beauty. Drop down, looks like at the 31-yard line. Can make it the 32. That is where the Red Hawks offense will begin. That was a 49-yard punt for Arujo. On first down, it's Gagliardi again, keeping it himself.
Jesse Gagliardi on the keeper.
Able to get out to the 35, make it the 36.
Tony Du and Alex Blair in on the stop for the Scarlet Hawks. 4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6, Natick. From their own 36.
So after a 6-yard gain for Gagliardi, now on 2nd down, calls his own number yet again, has some room up the middle this time, has the first down, and now will be yanked back by this defense, but forward progress will take him all the way out to the 46.
First down. Gain on the play. 1st and 10, Red Hawks on their own 46-yard line.
Clock tips under 10 minutes to go. And right now, Gagliardi continuing to do all the work himself, but this time he is met in the backfield by the Milford defense. See if they give him forward progress back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10, Natick.
And indeed they do, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. They've had some success with those quarterback keeper runs over the course of this game, but you can't keep showing this Scarlet Hawks defense the same thing. This time Gagliardi looks to throw, and that ball overthrown.
Pass by Gagliardi falls incomplete. Pass
Targeting the tight end,
Simon Pedrelli.
Simon Pedrelli.
That brings up 3rd down and 10 for Natick from their own 46.
3rd down and 10 coming up in this old-fashioned, low-scoring, defensive slugfest. Line of scrimmage, the Red Hawks 46. Clock right now paused at 9:03. As Gagliardi rolls out, throws on the move, a juggle, and they'll say it was a completed pass.
Pass by Gagliardi is ruled complete.
Looked like they mark him out of bounds right at the Milford 45 or the 44, close to the marker. So they spot the football just past the 45, so it'll make it 4th down
9-yard gain on the play.
and less than a yard.
4th down and 1 for Natick on the Milford 45-yard line.
You'd have to imagine it'll be Gagliardi trying to run this ball for the first down. This crowd on the Milford side gets loud. And instead they hand it off. And Milford signaling that that ball came out.
On the carry.
But the ball stays with Natick. They're able to get just enough for the first down.
1-yard gain on the play. 1st and 10, Natick on the Milford 44.
So just barely, the Red Hawks able to keep this drive alive. Very, very close. The new line of scrimmage now, the Milford 44, as we tick down to 8 minutes to play. Gagliardi will run it on first down. Able to elude a couple of tackles. A good solid run again from Gagliardi.
In on the stop for Milford.
All spotted all the way down to the Milford 37. As the Scarlet Hawks call their first timeout of the second half. They want to talk things over here as Natick, again, has had some success in this part of the field, and Milford has been able to tighten it up the deeper they've gotten into their own territory. That's where their 2 turnovers have come from in this game. Fumble recovery on the first Natick drive of the game, and then, of course, the play that is right now the difference on the scoreboard. The interception returned for a touchdown late in the 3rd quarter by Andrew Rivera. Continues to be no points scored by either of these offenses. Both teams now retake the field with 7 minutes and 56 seconds left.
7-yard gain on the previous play. 2nd and 3, Natick on the Milford 37.
Gagliardi again will run himself. He has taken the weight of this offense on his shoulders here on this drive, and it has paid off as again he's able to rush for a Natick first down. Less than 7.5 minutes to go. Another first down for the Redhawks now at the Milford 28. Gagliardi just keeping the ball in his own hands. This time a short gain before he is forced to the ground. Among the tacklers there, Owen Matthews, who has been terrific tonight.
Number 44, Owen Matthews, and number 54, Oliver McKee in on the stop.
Gain of 2 that time for Gagliardi.
And 8 Natick on the Milford 26-yard line.
You wonder if Gagliardi might try to sneak one downfield after all of these quarterback keepers. They keep it on the ground, but this time they hand off.
Number 26, Sam Hubbard on the carry.
Sam Hubbard getting the carry that time.
On the stop for the Skyhawks.
Able to get down to the 25-yard line where it will be 3rd down and 7.
On the Milford 25-yard line.
With now just over 6 minutes left to play, so this drive has chewed up a good amount of the clock. Big play coming up here for Natick. Milford student section getting loud, as this time we do see the pass attempt for Gagliardi to the far side of the field, and it is incomplete.
Pass is intended for number 13, James Perrier.
Perrier trying to reach for it, but could not pull that ball down in bounds. And so it will be 4th down and 7 here.
Ball is on the Milford 25-yard line.
And in a 1-score game, what do you do here if you're Natick? Right now keeping the offense on the field. So 4th down and 7 for the Natick offense. A different QB under center as they target the end zone, and that pass is broken up by C.J. Farrell. That was Owen Denver under center on that 4th down play. So an interesting play call there for Natick. They put a fresh QB in. But the pass is broken up. Nice play in the end zone by C.J. Farrell to force a turnover on downs.
First and 10, Milford from their own 25-yard line.
So Milford will start from their own 25 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. Buckley with Farrell in motion. He gets the ball. Able to sneak back towards the middle and took a hit up high as he goes down, and he is still down. And immediately the Milford training staff out to check on Farrell as he took a hit right in the face mask. A scary situation for the sophomore CJ Farrell, as he is tended to right now by the training staff. We'll pause for the injury timeout. 5:14 to go in the fourth, with Milford still on top 7-0 here on Milford TV. So again, for everyone who's with us on the live coverage, we continue to operate in an injury timeout. A scary situation here in this game with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. CJ Farrell carrying that football over the middle took a hit high, and there was no flag on the play, but a questionable hit to say the least on the Natick side, as looked like a shoulder came up right under the face mask of CJ Farrell, and he has stayed sprawled out on the field. They are continuing to monitor him very closely. Right now they have his helmet off on the field. He appears to be alert, but in a good deal of discomfort out there, as Milford athletic trainer Ashley Desco and the rest of the Milford staff keep a close eye on CJ. Right now looks to have his head up and looking for hands to get up into a seated position. So this Milford crowd now starts to breathe a sigh of relief, and now Farrell on his feet, but he is going to need some assistance to get to the sideline. So very scary, as they will even completely lift Farrell off of his feet. They also have his right cleat off. And so certainly all of our concern and well wishes go to CJ Farrell right now, as he is helped off by a couple of members of this Milford coaching staff to the sideline. And under somber conditions, we continue on now in this fourth quarter, as Farrell might have ended up getting a hit up high and down low, as right now they have that right shoe off and they're taking a look at CJ on the sidelines. But we continue on now as Buckley hands it off on second down. Arujo with a short gain.
Arujo on the carry.
So the training staff, they look to be focused on the right ankle of Farrell.
4-yard gain on the play. Third down and 1, Milford on their own 34.
Meanwhile, third down and 1 with just over 4.5 minutes to go, as Milford looks to extend this drive, and Arujo able to get enough for the first down. A big play to try to bleed more of this remaining fourth quarter clock out.
37-yard line.
Really using every second of this clock to their advantage now, snapping with right around 4 minutes to go, as Arujo runs into a pile, and Tony Duke came flying in over the top, almost collided with Arujo.
4-yard gain on the play. Second and 6, Milford.
It goes as a gain of 4, and this will take us down inside of 3.5 minutes to play. Wonder if maybe one more first down might be enough to ice this game for Milford. Buckley again in the shotgun, running back to his left. It'll be Buckley to run it himself. A little stutter step, and able to get out past midfield. And so after all of the QB keeper plays we've seen on the other side, this time it's Buckley who was able to run for the first down inside Natick territory.
First and 10, Milford on the Natick 48.
And first and 10 now from the Natick 48 with less than 3 minutes to go. Rougeau on first down. He forces his way down close to the 40-yard line.
Timeout Natick, their first of the second half.
Natick now forced to use their remaining timeouts. They stop the clock with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. So as we start to wind down on the coverage here tonight, we'll start to look ahead to what we have coming up for you next week on Milford TV, and that is the girls varsity programs taking center stage. We will have girls soccer coverage for you on Tuesday of next week on the 26th as Milford plays host to the King Philip Warriors. That game expected to get underway right around 4 p.m. And then on Thursday, again, a change in our schedule, unable to travel down to Attleboro for road football coverage. So instead, we've scheduled in some bonus girls volleyball coverage for you on Thursday the 27th. With the girls volleyball team playing host to their King Philip counterparts. So girls soccer on Wednesday and girls volleyball on Thursday. That is our expected Milford TV coverage. And of course, all of that will stream live on YouTube. And as long as our equipment cooperates, we'll get it live on our educational and HD channels as well.
Second and 9, Milford, from the Natick 47.
Meanwhile, now 2nd down and 9 for Milford. 2 minutes and 34 seconds. As Milford hopes to seal the deal on win number 3 of the season. Here's Rougeau able to escape a tackle in the backfield.
On the carry.
Able to get out to the 42-yard line.
Timeout Natick, their second.
As Natick calls another timeout. CJ Farrell not returning to the field here tonight. Certainly the concern will be what lies ahead here for Farrell, as right now he has that right leg elevated and looks like he'll need crutches to leave the field here tonight. And you can only hope that this is an injury that Farrell will be able to bounce back from. The timeout continues on the field, 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go. As we mentioned, Milford will face off against their first Kelly Rex opponent of the season next week. It'll be a short week for Milford as they will play on Thursday with a 6 p.m. kickoff down at Attleboro's Tozier Cassidy Field.
5-yard gain on the previous play. 3rd down and 4, Milford. On the Natick 43.
3rd down and 4 coming up for the Scarlet Hawks. And it's Buckley again to run it himself. Lowers the shoulder, tries to dive forward to that 1st down line, but it looks like he will be shy. So it'll be 4th down and 1 here for Milford with 2:16 to go. Natick takes their last timeout. So into another timeout. We'll take the timeout here on the broadcast. We'll wrap things up here on the coverage when we come back next here on Milford TV.
4th and 1, Milford, on the Natick 39.
Inching closer to the end of this one, 4th down and 1 for Milford as they go for it on 4th down. And a little extra boost there for Nick Rougeau gives him enough for the Milford 1st down. No way now for the Red Hawks to stop the clock. It's a gain of 4 for Rougeau and likely icing this game. And as the coaching staff starts to depart from up on top of the press box, just a single word out of the mouth of Coach Dana Olson. and that was ugly. Perhaps an appropriate word to describe what we've seen here tonight. Certainly stout play by the defenses on both sides.
10-yard gain on the play.
A trio of field goal misses, 2 for Milford, 1 for Natick in the first half. The only score of this game to this juncture, the interception returned for a touchdown by Andrew Rivera. And the Scarlet Hawks just over a minute away from sealing a victory. Buckley on first down, hands off to Arujo. He gets wrapped up, still on his feet, forcing his way forward, able to continue the forward progress down to the 20-yard line. This offense maybe with one more chance to try to put this ball in the end zone. .30 seconds to go. And it looks like instead Milford in victory formation here as Buckley will take the knee. And the final seconds will come down off of this clock. The last 15 seconds about to be extinguished. Not a pretty one here tonight for these two teams, but ultimately Milford gets the job done, and Andrew Rivera, the difference maker, with that defensive score. And it leads to a 7-0 victory for the Scarlet Hawks over the Natick Red Hawks, their 4th straight head-to-head victory in the last 3 seasons against Natick, so they keep the good times rolling against the Red Hawks. And the Scarlet Hawks, with the win, improve to 3-0 now on the season, and with the loss, Natick will fall to 1-2. And so the focus now shifts to a short week ahead of preparation for week 4, where Milford will travel to Attleboro to take on the Bombardiers. Again, our next coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV will come your way next week. Back-to-back days of girls athletics as we cover the varsity girls soccer team on Wednesday and the varsity girls volleyball team on Thursday. But that's going to wrap things up for us here for tonight. A big thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand for the coverage. Our director for tonight's game is Scott Crisafulli. Our main camera operator is Jerry Maglita. And our sideline camera operator is Kyle Barlow. And I am Tim Coet. That final score one final time. Milford shuts out the Natick Redhawks by a final score of 7-0. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.